What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Trading Learning 101. Crazy insanity in the stock market. It's January 27th. We're approaching noon. Just insane. Insane. GameStop running up to almost $400. Last week, GameStop was at $37, running up $400, $300 just about. That's insane. And that's the opportunity that the stock market gives you. GameStop just made so many people a lot of money. A lot of money. And that's not the only one. Bed Bath & Beyond, BBBY, going from $24 all the way up over $50. KOSS from $3.50 all the way hitting $42 a share. Insanity. KOKD, KODK from $10.50 up to $14. There's a lot of them. What's another one here? REV from 12 up to 19. U1 is still setting up from 6 all the way up to 9. It's got a big wedge going in on it. If it can hold up here at 720 and break through that $8, she gone. But what I just got word of was with AMC having this epic squeeze. And also, congratulations to the guys at WallStreet Bets and Mr. Zach Morris. Just had the trade of a lifetime. Mr. Zach Morris had like 800,000 shares of AMC at an average price of $2.20. And to wake up and the stock's up at $26, he's a multi-millionaire just from that trade. Just insane. Let's see if I can find it here. I posted the picture this morning. We're in Wednesday chat. So let me see if I can pull it. I know I posted it in here. 800,000 shares right here at an average price at $2.20. He posted this the night before. He was already up $2.6 million. Just insane. I did the math on it. It was like $16 million he made on this. Mr. Zach Morris. If you don't know who he is, he's a must follow trader on Twitter. Always posting ideas and all that great stuff. But congratulations to him. That's the trade of a lifetime right there. AMC. Wow. And then also we had Live moving up randomly yesterday from 17 up to 36. I thought Live was going to get a good push today, up over $32, because everything was just exploding today. Everything. And all week for me, it's just been back and forth. Let's cover real quickly what I did for the week so far. We go to the profits chat. So Monday, I only made almost $1,000. It was just back and forth all day. Making 850. It's like every time I took a loss, I would have a winner and make it back. and then I'd take another loss, and then I'd have a winner, make it back, and then have another loss. I just could not get ahead. And as soon as I got ahead, I just called it for the day. So Monday, only 983 bucks. And then Tuesday, I only made 1,100 bucks. Again, just back and forth, back and forth. As soon as I'd get behind, I'd get ahead, I'd get behind. I'd make it back, give it back. I just back and forth. I just couldn't get ahead. But then when I finally did get ahead, I just called it. I was done. So Monday, I made 1,000. Tuesday, I made just over 1,000. Very, very hard days to trade. Very hard. And then today, I was able to pull through today, guys. I wasn't able to capitalize big like a lot of people out there. But I'm up 7,600 bucks on the day. I was 5 for 5 in my trading. We'll quickly cover what I traded. I traded U1 for a lousy 58 bucks. I traded BBBY for a lousy $61. EXPR, I made 1,500. KOSS, I made just over 1,600. And LIVE, I made 4,400. But I was really looking for that big trade on live. I really thought it was going to shoot up over 32. So I seen this spike this morning, and on this pullback to VWAP at 29, and it perked up to 30, I picked up 3,000 shares. And I was waiting, and it was just sitting there at 32. So just to be safe, I just locked it in, because from the past, if stocks are just sitting at resistance, it's not a good sign. So now that it trended back down and it didn't break out, I played this to a T. I'm happy I was able to lock it in. This was my biggest trade of the day on live. So then we also got BBBY. I made just $62. This stock is just so wild, up and down, up and down. And then KOSS, I made 1,600 bucks when it was consolidating this morning right here, forming this wedge. Right when it broke up and pulled back here at 18, I loaded up 3,000 shares and I sold it right as it was perking up. I didn't even let this thing run. And imagine 3,000 shares and this thing ran all the way up to $43, getting in at 18. That's, what is that, like $23, $25 times 3,000. That would have been $75,000. And then I traded U1. Lousy 58 bucks. And EXPR. EXPR, same scenario as KOSS. Formed a wedge right here in the morning, right over the break over the $7. Runs all the way up to 14 bucks. Beautiful move on EXPR. I wasn't expecting it to run this much. But there's a lot of FOMO going on in the stock market, guys. Hopefully you all were able to keep it safe and stay safe out there. Because I tell you, pre-market, when you see these stocks gapping up so much, I know the feeling. It's FOMO, fear of missing out. You get excited. You buy at the market open or you buy pre-market. You're looking for the stock to go up even higher. And then the stock just crashes on you. So Jared says GameStop is crazy growth. GameStop, all it was is just a short squeeze. That's all it was. This is a garbage company. People don't go to the store anymore to buy video games. Everything's all streaming and digital now. The only reason GameStop made this huge move was because it got squeezed. Institutions were short this stock. They all had to cover their position. Buyers show up. It's a double whammy. I mean, look at that daily chart. It's not the greatest on Thinkorswim, but just insane. The stock was at $4 like a couple months ago. And then James Lindsay, do you think with all this insanity, is it was to continue, they will try and put restrictions on retail traders? I think it's too much. No, they ain't gonna put no restrictions on traders. This stuff happens all the time. All the time. If you're blown away by what GameStop did and what BBBY did, that ain't nothing. Nothing. Let me show you guys some charts. That ain't nothing. They ain't gonna put no restrictions on traders. It's a free market. It's a free market to make money and lose money. If they were to put restrictions on that or take away day trading, you'd have anarchy. You really would. Here's some charts to show you guys. All it is a bubble and a short squeeze and parabolic moves. These charts that I'm showing you guys right here, these are from my whole career of 5 years of trading. Look at ABIO running from 5 to 20. ABIO. AXGT from $6 to $9. Let me get to some BPTH. Who remembers BPTH? BPTH ran from $8 all the way to $73 in one day. CHK ran from $38 to $76 in one day. ELTK from $1.35 to $3. GLSI, who remembers GLSI? GLSI ran from $6 all the way up to $150. So you see, it happens all the time in the stock market. GLSI, 6 to 162 in one day, right here. GNUS, that ain't nothing. HGLI from 8 to 1750. KOKD, who remembers KOKD back in the day? From 18 all the way up to $60. KRTX from $28 up to $120 in one day. Look at that. Look at that move. In 2 days, the stock ran from under $20 all the way up to $150. $130 move. OBLN was a recent one. PTSV. RKDA went supernova at one time. SCPS going from $10 up to $50. See, these are the opportunities that the market gives you with it being a free market. Anything can happen. You have these big banks and institutions that if things get out of hand, this is what could happen. Who remembers back in the day the shippers, when the shippers exploded? Like, what was it? SHIP, DRYS, DCIX. I think it was Dries that ran from like $5 up to something like $500 within 5 days. It was insane. But this is just to show you some examples that this happens all the time. WNW from $45 up to $160. And then it slowly faded off the following days. YGMZ from 450 up to 2050. So you see, all those charts I just showed you, they ain't gonna put no restrictions on day traders or day trading period. Sure, they changed the rules from time to time, but they ain't just gonna come out and say, hey, you guys can't day trade no more. It's not gonna happen. That's why they also have PDT rule also. Because when you have stocks like this that run like that, I mean, your emotions are going to take over. And if you're new and you don't know how to contain or handle your own emotions, you're going to blow that account up, no problem. You're going to be trying to scalp these moves and you're going to get caught at the wrong end. It can be a disaster. But let's talk about this morning. This morning, when you have stocks that are gapping up, like AMC, you have to take a step back and realize what just happened. What's the big picture? AMC, yesterday, it closed at $5. Pre-market, a half an hour before the market opens for the day, the stock ran all the way up to $26. Think about that. The stock just moved up $20 non-stop, all after hours. What makes you think that when the market opens, it's just going to keep going and going and going and going? That's the human nature part, the greed. People think that they get caught up in the moment. They forget about yesterday, pre-market. All they focus on is the now. So they zoom in on a chart. They say, oh yeah, this bad boy's pulling back right here. It's going to pull back. And then right at the open, it's going to shoot up to $30, maybe even $50. But then if you zoom out and look at the big picture, like, wow, this stock just ran up so much. Yeah, I'm not going to chase after this. It's up 200%. 200, 300%. So when the market opens, let all those people do what they got to do. Let them blow up their accounts. If they get lucky, they get lucky. What I like to look for are those reversals when the market sells off like that, or these stocks. Then it goes sideways and you get that bounce. It's easy money pretty much if you know how to look for it and spot it. That's why I always say in my videos, guys, study, study, study. But I guess TD Ameritrade put restrictions on AMC and GME GameStop. So you can't trade any of these if you have that platform. Let me see if I can find the message. Or actually, I'll just bring it over with Thinkorswim. Let me see if I So if I pull this over, go to my messages, right there. In the interest of mitigating risk for our company and clients, we have put in place several restrictions on some transactions in GME, AMC, and other securities. We made these decisions out of an abundance of caution and amid unprecedented market conditions and other factors. That's a first for me. I've never seen a brokerage company put a restriction on a stock just because of how volatile it is. So it just goes to show you too, things happen all the time and you're always learning and seeing new things as a trader. I've been doing this for over 5 years. I've never came across anything like that where a broker restricts a stock all because of the volatility. And in my whole career also, I've never seen a stock move like GameStop. I mean, if you go back and look at yesterday, this stock was having wicked death candles and then coming all the way back up effortlessly. It was insane. I mean, look at some of these candles. Look at that. From $96 slams all the way down to $86, a $10 death candle. And then you got this surge here from 81 up to 94, a $13 push right there. That's insane. Fast forward. Death candle here, 105 down to 97. 117 down to 106. So we're seeing $10 death candles. And the stock would grind all the way back up. So you see how they do that? They slam it down, grind it back up. Slam it down, grind it back up. I mean, that could be a trading style in its own right there. $141 all the way down to $123. Pretty much $20 drop right there. And then they grind it all the way back up. It's all about noticing patterns. Just insane. KOKD, look at that bottom this morning. So KOKD was gapping up pre-market up to 13. And then right at the open, it failed right there. This is why I don't trade the open. The open, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I do not trade. I don't. I've lost so much money trading the open. It's just so random and so volatile. You could get a little small 1,000 share position right at the market open, and a stock could effortlessly rip down to $2.50. Right out of the open, you're taking a $2,000, $3,000 loss. I don't want to do that. That's giving money away. If I'd want to do that, I'll just give to a charity. But just waiting for these setups. I mean, look at what it did. That's a beautiful textbook pattern right there. That sell-off bottoms out right here, makes a triangle, breaks out, from 1050, gets a nice grind, throws some trend lines on it, grinds all the way up and runs, gets that euphoria run right there, all the way up to 14 bucks. $4 move from 10 to almost 11:30, so an hour and a half. It moved up $4. Oh, and then look at KOSS. Just non-stop halts all the way up. But there's a pattern here with the halts also. As this is moving up. Wow. What I like to say though too, when stocks get up and above that $20 level, that's when you could really start to see stocks skip dollars at a time. So you got to be careful with your size if you're trading stocks over 20 bucks. Risk management. James Lindsay says, just think that this is the first time retail traders have had the power to topple hedge funds. Yeah, you're pretty much right. Yep. But BlackRock had like $2 million or $200 million worth of GameStop, and they just sold it. Because what happens, I'm telling you guys, if you're interested in the stock market, learn about the history, get into it, learn about what physically goes on behind the scenes. What are all the mechanics that make the stocks move like this? How do market makers think? How do they do their job? You know, if you want to do this, you have to know what's going on. You got to know the ins and outs. So what happens is you got these big banks that have just tons and tons of money. Tons of money. And it just sits around. So what they do with these garbage companies, they just throw 2 million here, 2 million there, 5 million there, 10 million there. They buy up all these garbage ass companies just in case they do come of something. And like BlackRock, they did that with GameStop when it was at $4 a share. They just sold it yesterday, I believe. Let me see if I can find it. See? Right here. BlackRock may have racked in $2.4 billion on GameStop's retail-driven stock frenzy. January 27th, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, could have made gains of about $2.4 billion on its investment in GameStop as retail investors pour money into the video game retailer's shares. The assets manager owned about 9.2 million shares, or roughly 13% stake in GameStop as of December 31st, 2020. That's how many shares they had right there. Just over 9 million shares. 9.2 million shares. That's insane. They made a killing. Let me see if there was any big sells here on GameStop. See here on U1, in U1 ran today, a 10% owner just bought shares on the 7th and 19th at 415 and 466, 200,000 and 106,000 shares. So he put up about $1.5 million. This person here, another one, 10% owner, January 7th at 681, bought 200,000 shares worth 1.3 million. Now, if you look at U1 now, see, they bought in, and the stock finally surged up here at 850s. They're selling into that. That's why the stock's going down and it can't push up higher. Because you have someone, three different people. This guy with 106,000 shares, this guy with 200,000 shares, and this guy with 200,000 shares, and this guy with 109 million shares. So altogether, that's 2, 4, 5, 6. That's 600,000 in shares on the sell side. So you see how I put that all together? You got to dig into the stocks and try to put the puzzle together to tell the story. But I was trying to see if there was any big thing here on GameStop. Doesn't look like it. But that's crazy when you put it all together like that. They made enough to buy a small country. Yeah, pretty much. They can retire off of that for sure. Talk about bonuses. Given the analysis of bonus for finding GameStop and recommending it. Yeah, just buy a couple. Let's buy $9 million worth. We'll do that. Throw it in the back. Maybe it'll come with something one day. Hey, remember that GameStop we bought back when it was $4 a share? Yeah, how much did we buy? $9 million worth. Sell it all. Insane. And then also, guys, recently, there was a lot of people commenting on a video that I made, Barcode Stocks. If you haven't seen the video, I made a video on why stocks do this right here. And a lot of people were commenting, and it even surprised me. A lot of people were commenting on ZOM because it was doing the barcode thing. And it just goes to show you human nature, greed, you know, all that volume is getting attracted as the stock's up at all-time highs up here. Why weren't they interested in it when it was way down here, or right there, or right there, or right there, right there, right there, right there? No, they got to be interested in it up here. Why would you want to buy a stock that moved from 6 pennies all the way up to $1.50? The downside risk of it is just so much greater than the upside potential. Sure, it could keep going, but I just noticed they kept commenting about Zoom, ZOM. Zoom, ZOM brought me here. Zoom brought me here. That's all they kept saying. Look, I'm about to show you guys all the comments. It's insane. Right here. Zoom did it today even after a good news. That was a day ago. Alright, right here. Zoom is doing that right now. That was a week ago. That is why I'm here. Me too. Me too. Laugh out here for some reason. Hope Zoom does great for us. You got the key word right there? Hope. Hope is not a strategy, guys. Same. Here for the same reasons. Hashtag Zoom. Another selling Zoom because of this. Or anyone selling Zoom because of this. That was 5 days ago. All these people commenting about ZOM. So I pull up the chart and I look at it. I'm like, wow, this thing just had a huge run. Now all these people are interested in it. It really just goes to show you guys, human nature never changes. I should honestly put together and make a video on that, for real. It's just like when you see with all of these bubbles, like Bitcoin, when it ran up to 20K. Everybody and their mother and their grandmother and the kids were even talking about Bitcoin. When it would hit 20K, and then when it crashed, you didn't hear anybody talk about Bitcoin. It was dead for like 2-3 years. And then it came back and made new highs, and now everybody's back on the train. Now, Zoom, it could keep going up over $1, but going off of the past and human nature and what's happened in the past with charts, ZOM is probably going to fall all the way back down. And all those people are going to become bag holders. Everybody who's chasing it all here, buying it. And then if the stock ever comes back again, this is all the resistance that you run into with these stocks. Because you have all these people holding and hoping. Now they can hold this position for days, weeks, months, years even. This guy's got 200K of his money tied up in ZOM stock. It finally comes back to the price where he bought it. You think he's going to break even and just wash his hands with it and move on? Or is he going to continue holding on to it and finally wait for that move? More than likely, he's going to wash his hands and move on. This is why technical analysis works on charts also. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy and human nature. Phew, I just talked a lot. Give me a second, guys. I gotta drink some water. Alright, let me pull up KOKD here. KOKD could have one more good bounce in it back up to 1250s or 1275. Slap a trend line on that bad boy. I also like to draw Fibonacci retracements from the previous day's close up to the high of day. And then I also like to pick a low from the day. Like this 11 bucks looked like an interesting area, an area of interest. So I'll draw from 11 up, and it looks like 13 is going to be a trigger area. Right there. And 1220s is going to be a trigger area. This level right there. Back down to 1172. 1150, that could be a trigger area. But I'll go for that right now. Volume is decreasing on it as it pulls back here. But definitely keep it on watch. What else we got popping off, guys? What are you watching? FOSL's having a good move. Wow. From 21 up to 27 now. Stock's going berserk. NOK. I mean, look at that. From 5 up to 9, almost 10 bucks. That's just an insane. Look at that. And then they kept halting it down. All right, what are we talking about here on Discord? EXPR. I mean, look at that move on EXPR. Yesterday it was at $3 a share. Today it hit almost $14. Just the opportunity that's out here, guys. It's just insane. I'm going to add EXPR to my charts over here. AMC, and look what happened. They locked it up. They restricted it. No demand for the stock. Crashes. Back down to 12. Don't get me wrong, though. I think AMC, it very well could push back up over 20. That stock's traded 800 million in volume today so far. That's just insane. HDSN. Good move under $2. I don't know. NOK could have a good push here up over 7. Let's keep an eye on this, see what it does. Those death candles, though, from 750, 690, 862, down to 7. They're having like 50 cent, 75-cent death candles. May get one more pullback here, back down to 670s, and maybe pop up over 7. But it could also slam down to 650. It's a big float at 5.6 billion. KOKD's right at VWAP. It's either going to get one more pop in KOKD or it's going to fall off. Right there. Could get a good run back up to 1275, I think. 1280s. And okay, push. It's trying to. It's setting up. Even APRN's running. KOKD, it very well could pop. see what you guys are saying on Streamlabs. WWR and JILL. Alright, we'll cover those. Just give me 1 second. I want to see what KOKD does here. It's either going to break out right here and run up to 13, or it's going to fail and drop to 12. There she goes. JILL. I'd be cautious on JILL. It'll probably top out right here at 675, 650. I don't see it going up much higher. WWR. Again, I'd be cautious up here. I see it coming back down to $8. It's pushing up on light volume. EXPR. The XPR gets back up over 12, it's gonna explode. AMTX, nothing's going on. EXPR, we're just seeing day in and day out, guys. We've just been seeing insane volume. EXPR is at 200 million in volume on the day. For an $11 stock, that's crazy. KODK still pushing up. Probably popped to 1275. EXPR. I keep coming back to that one. It's risky. It could easily slam back down to $10, which is a $1 drop. But if it pushes up over that 12, it could really take off. Yep, see? And okay, back down to 650. EXPR. Yesterday it all consolidated. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah, EXPR. It's squeezing. We're approaching 1 p.m., so we're in lunch hours. REV had a nice pop. Pushed right up off that VWAP at 1650. Pushing up to 1750 now. REV has just been a sleeper. Look at that. Looks like JILL's pushing up. I would just be careful though. It's pushing up on very, very light volume. All it takes is for one big seller to just slam. See, all day. Look at all that volume. Right there on these moves. And then now it's pushing up right here with little volume. That's bells and whistles going off all day. Wow, DDD, good run. 35 all the way up to 44. INO. It's an all-day grinder. Probably run up to 14. Yeah, I think EXPR might get a good snap up on it. We'll see. KOKD's still holding up at that 1250s. Gee, that Jill is still running. That just goes to show you, Poe, what do I know? KOKD getting that push. EXPR, it's trying to get that gear up for that snap back up, but I don't know if it will happen. REV really took off. It's hitting 18 bucks now. From 16.50 up to 18. Wow, hopefully he held on to that JILL, Poe. That bad boy is paying out. EXPR trying to push here up to 1125. Looks like it's struggling. KOKD push right up to 13 bucks. Nice. Wanted to keep an eye on this EXPR for a snap back up, but I don't think it'll happen. It's starting to fail right here. Here comes the drop. Splat. Wow, what a run. There's that push on KODK. Good push. Yeah, that JILL, that was a good one. For sure. That bad boy's still going. Volume didn't start showing up into it till $6.50, $7 right here. This grind up from 6 all the way up to 6.50, it could have easily slammed down 50 cents. The KOKD. Man, I wish I took that trade. I wanted to. Is JILL ever going to stop? Or is it just going to ramp all the way up to 10? Here comes the pullback. That's going to probably wrap it up for me, guys. I'm going to